Okay, hi everyone. Good evening. It's a rainy Saturday night here in Singapore, and I would just like to thank everyone for tuning in. And we will have some interesting thing to paint today, and I'll be sharing on how are we going to do it. Um, this live video streaming painting will be we'll try to make it regular for uh, on a regular schedule for everyone. So let's just go ahead and start. So tomorrow Sunday I will have a game in Gamersaurus Rex. So I'm actually using one of my Imperial Knights, and let me just share with you guys what I have been doing. So this is slowly been making its progress um, for the past months. Finally, I made him something like this, and what happened is he is actually a Knight Crusader, as all of you have known that for for all 40k players, it's pretty common to use this Knight Crusader. But what I'm going to do is change the Gatling gun, this gun, to the what do you call this? Let me see. It's the Thunder Strike Gauntlet. I'm very new to the 40k scene, so I'm a regular player of Age of Sigmar, and so been introduced to 40k, and I like Imperial Knights. So it's the fastest way to build your army. So let's go ahead. What I have done here is basically we're going to take out the Gatling gun. I never magnetize a thing. The reason why I never put the shoulder pads is for me to I can easily remove and change it to whatever weapon I want him to carry. So yeah, we are going to do a Thunderstrike Gauntlet today, but I'm going to paint it in a molten metal effect. So this would be interesting to all of you guys. The principle behind the molten metal that we will be using the same paint that it's a common thing. I think the one thing I want to share with everyone is how the color transition would be. So I let me just give you an example. Anyway, this is the arm where the gauntlet will be. So yeah, I just painted it on a metal using metal acrylic color by Ammo Make. But unfortunately, the name it's equivalent to Games Workshop gunmetal lead belcher. So in Vallejo is gunmetal, if I'm not mistaken. But the thing is, I choose this. I tried this Ammo Make acrylic color. I find it pretty easy for the metallic colors to use on airbrush. So you just need to thin it properly. Then you can apply. Then you can mix the metal colors, and you can just spray it on your models. So here will be the finished product. Let me just adjust the camera for you guys. So this is how the finished product will look like. After spraying the metal color, I just wash it with Nuln oil, and after the Nuln oil dried up, I did a dry brush for using the Games Workshop, the Citadel paint, Necron compound. So this how would a metal effect would look like. Forgive me if I keep looking on my right. I'm not so sure it's left on your screen because I'm checking on the monitor if you can see properly the figures. Anyway, let's get back to what we'll be painting today. It's red base. It's red base color. It would be exactly the same colors that I have used for this head. I have posted this on the page, Facebook page, and whatever color you will see here, we'll be using it. Basically, I'll give you the main colors that we'll be using. Hold on, guys. So let me just pick up the colors. If it's done, we have this and we have this. All right. For the lineup, we will base color with Mephiston red, and then we will brighten the color using Evil Sun's Scarlet. And after that, we will use not Wild Rider Red. Okay, not him. It's Troll Slayer Orange. Okay, if you use Wild Rider Red compared to the Troll Slayer Orange, Wild Rider Red is somewhere 50-50. Correct me if I'm wrong, from red and orange. But I have tried it. The intensity of the brightness will go down if you use a Wild Rider Red. So the thing is, we straight away use a Troll Slayer orange, and after that we will use Imperial yellow and white. For white, I will use Vallejo white. I find it, well, it depends on you guys. I mean, the dead white from Vallejo Game Color Dead White will be the white I have been always using. So let's go ahead. Let me put the colors nice in order. All right, then what we'll be painting today? This gauntlet. Okay, this is a Thunderstrike gauntlet. So the thing is strength times 2 minus 4 AP with 6 damage. So yeah, that's why I will be using this for tomorrow's game. I already primed it, and the primer I have been using for like a couple of months, maybe 6 months ago, or I started using this AK Interactive Primer Black. The reason I really like this compared to the other brand is when it gives you a very, very fine finish. It doesn't take away those important details, and you see the application will be pretty even. I'm not really that very good in, airbrush. So when I started using this, I find it's quite easy to use. Just mix it with a thinner, and I have been using a different thinner. It's called Life Color Acrylic Hobby Colors, which is made in Italy. It's pretty much a very good thinner compared to the other products. It blends, it thins well. The way it binds to the model is pretty perfect. So I'll be using for base color. Where can we get primer, Ryan? Oh, okay. You can get the primer, of course. I got it from Bernard of Habimate. Oh, Habimate. Sorry, M Workshop. Oh, Bernard look at me. M Workshop. So Habimate is from a different brand. Anyway, you can get this, guys. M Workshop. Sorry, Bernard. Please don't kill me. Anyway, I'll just be using a basic airbrush. So this is, I use this with a 0.4 needle size. This is from Harder and Steenbeck. He is pretty much my workhorse as of the moment. Works very, very good for me. And I do have other airbrush. For finer details, I'm using, of course, Harder and Steenbeck Infinity. So I do apologize. It's not really glossy right now because I have been working for a couple of days doing commission works. So let's go ahead, guys. Let's start mixing the paint. Okay. Maybe the question will be how much thinner and paint ratio will be. Well, I should say 60-40, 60 thinner, 40% paint, but it's quite risky. There's a tendency that you will clog your airbrush, so it's somewhere around 70-30. Anyway, the key to using airbrush is more on how you control the air and paint ratio when you're applying. So that's why all the airbrush that I have is double action. I don't use those single action. It's quite easy to use actually when you get used to it. So it's not alright. It's not a Citadel airbrush, Citadel Air that I'm using. This is how you make all those Citadel paints work for your airbrush. You just mix it with the thinner that I have been using. So yeah. Alright, so okay, the thing is it's black now. We don't want to hit this part. We still need to leave a black color behind, so we won't be base coating everything with Mephiston red from Citadel. So make sure you just control. Alright, let me just see how can I show you guys. Okay, maybe up to this level, we'll just keep it black on the upper part and base color. I don't use I don't use airflow improver on on the things on my paint. It's just a mixture of paint and thinner. It's more on how you control your airbrush. So there. Just make sure you're doing a pretty even um, application of paint. And also make sure you check if there are still remaining paint on you. So there, you won't be painting this part. No need to paint this part. It gives you a contrast on a later part. So you have a black and you have a white on the tip. So because what I wanted to do with this Thunderstrike gauntlet is to make it like glowing metal or like a molten metal. Okay, so this will be the base color. Memphis Stone Red. Hold on, let me just adjust camera for you guys. Alright. The thing with mixing more air than paint with your airbrush application, it dries faster and it's pretty even. So we go ahead and do the next color. Let me just try to clean the airbrush. Hold on. Okay, you don't need to like totally clean the chamber of the airbrush for the next color change. So the next thing is Evil Sons. Okay, let's make the color more brighter. Okay, hi guys, hi Larvin, where are you? And hi Angelo, hi bro, and Brian, and the rest of the guys. Thank you for joining me. Let's make this interesting. Okay. So let's just mix the color again. It's a brighter red. I commonly use this Evil Sons Scarlet with most of my commission projects because it's really bright. Then I just step up with highlights, so it's pretty good. Let's go ahead and do Evil Sons. Okay. Just make sure you have a good control on your airbrush during spraying or during the application. You don't want to have those big splat or blots or those paints getting out of control going to your models. Okay. It's okay. When you do your application, it should be on a rotating motion, but there are other ways of executing your Okay, so there, um, color looks brighter now at the fingers and some part of the hand. Okay, let's just check. Okay, so this is how it looks like after the Evil Sun's Scarlet Red. You'll just wait for it to dry a little bit, so we can. Yeah, okay. We just wait for it to dry a little bit while I'm cleaning the airbrush. For the airbrush cleaner, I'm using Vallejo airbrush cleaner. next color will be okay. So it's only because that the following colors, I mean the next colors will be, you'll be using less and less. So you just need to make you just need to prepare a mixture of paint. I mean, the next paint will be lesser than the next paint, then lesser than the next paint. You don't need to have those constant amount of paint. And I'd like to say hi to all my friends at Lion City Geeks. Hi guys, and how big this figure is. Oh no. This is how big this figure is. This is how do I compare it? This is compared with this is the little guy, which is roughly around roughly around an inch, and this is how the size comparison is. Of course, this is our favorite Johan for size comparison. It is comparable to the common size for Gundam, so it's pretty much it's a little bit smaller than the 1 to 100 scale of Gundam. Okay, so I don't have paint. Next color is a troll slayer orange. Okay, next color is Troll Slayer Orange, of course by Citadel Paints. You can get Citadel Paints at your favorite hobby shop, local hobby shop. Of course, here in Singapore, I am getting it at Gamersaurus Rex and Warhammer Chong Baru, Warhammer Red House. Okay, so next is a Troll Slayer Orange. We are just covering mainly the half of those fingers going to distal. Oh, thanks, Brian. It's 7 to 8 inches tall. So there. Once in a while, you need to check on your airbrush how the paint flows. Is it covering the thing evenly? And there. So it looks more hotter now. It's only like 4 color transition, then we will still add more to make it more glowing, but it looks good. Okay. Clean. So next is next will be yellow, Imperial yellow, or Imperial. Okay, so this will be the next color for you guys. Citadel paints, of course. Anyway, while waiting, I just like to remind everyone, please do like, follow, and share a Trigger Finger. I do have Facebook page, and I do have Instagram. Okay, next, yellow. We are just applying the yellow more on the fingertips. So yeah, it's more on the fingertips. Let's just try to adjust. Yep. Alright, it makes it look hotter and hotter and hotter. So next and final color that we will be spraying on this is white, and I'm going to change the airbrush that I'll be using, mainly because it's a highlight, more on a highlight, and it's quite scary. I trust my other airbrush to do the highlighting work. Okay, let me just bring down the. Okay, it's still a little bit wet, but it's okay. So, what we are going to do now is change the airbrush and use my trusted Infinity. Of course, by hiring Steam Deck. Test it first, because he is mainly used for details and highlights. So just make sure that he will work. Okay, I'm just testing. Okay, I'm just testing the flow of the airbrush because I seldom use this, and I do sometimes leave some paint on it, so it sometimes gives me surprises like it's blocked or I'm unable to use it. But please do take care of your airbrush, guys. Okay, now he is good to use. Okay, the white that I am using is dead white. Dead white. It has a matte white finish. That's why it looks pretty good, and I often use it to mix with other colors. It's just my preference, but you can also use other brands white. Okay. Alright. So now we are spraying. This is more on the tip only. Anyway, if like there are overspray it more on the lower side, it's still okay, because the final thing that we will do is we are going to put a wash color later on it to make the color blend pretty nicely. Just at the tip, guys. And I'm using the smallest needle for the Infinity models. Here. Just a bit on the tip only. The reason why I don't use brush on doing the highlights, I kind of like how the consistency is done with your brush. But of course, edging and other techniques on highlighting, I still use airbrush. I still use brush rather than airbrush. So there. Just a little bit. And there you have it, guys. The main colors and the main ingredients of the color transition that needed on this hand is pretty much here already. I won't be highlighting, or I won't do any colors on those, um, like this particular outline, because I wanted to keep the glowing molten metal effect on the models. So there. What are we going to do now is just pretty much wait for a little bit to dry the model, and the final thing that we will be applying, let me just look for the wash. Where is my wash? I found it. All right. So I think it's dry, a little bit dry. Then we will do a wash, which is Casandora Yellow by Citadel. Just make a good shake on the models. Okay, we will use this wash for making the color transition more subtle, and because it's a yellow base wash, so it will give us a brighter effect on the model. And what we are going to do is, let's just use the old brush. Okay, just check if your brush is clean. We don't want accidents of any other colors going to your model. So what are we going to do now is just apply wash color Casandora Yellow. We are applying it to including the black part, because the black part is also a part of your color transition. Just apply it liberally, but we try to avoid too much pulling on the model that you're doing. So there. What? It's like molten metal. Make sure when you apply the wash color is you are trying to even out all those areas. Don't make one area is pulling off so much color, so much wash color. There. And then you just take out, if there are any pulling on some areas, so you just dab your brush and dry it. Then we just need to wait for it to dry, and it's basically done. So this is how you do your molten metal effect. Okay, then after this, when it dries, you can put a coat of clear coat satin. I would just say satin and not those matte clear coat, because we wanted to keep the thing like almost looking wet, so it gives you the glow, because when it dries up, it tones down the effect. So okay, there you have it. And I'll be putting it together with this arm, and maybe just add a little bit of details to make it look nice. And he is ready to go for tomorrow's game. Our Thunder Strike Gauntlet. Ready to slap everyone. Hopefully I roll big. Okay? Okay, so there you have it, guys, and I hope everyone liked the short video tutorial live streaming that I have done. We will do more videos, so just watch out for any announcement, and you can make a comment, or you can send me a message on what you want to learn next, any suggestion or any figures that you want me to you want me to paint. Then let's see if we can try to get figures, and I will paint for you guys. So don't forget to like, follow, and share Trigger Finger. And thanks for staying with me and watching this video. You have a great weekend, and thank you all. Bye.